Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar at the Berlin School of Business and Innovation. I'm Jackson, the Communications Manager at BSBI and the moderator today, and our topic today is the value of networking and how education empowers for your success. I'm pleased to be joined by Katherine Boxall and Omar Elmasry. Katherine is the Head of Postgraduate Studies. Hello, Katherine.
Hi there, good to meet you all, our perspectives. Thank you, Jackson, that was a lovely introduction, thank you.
Katherine, could you tell us a bit about yourself, please?
Yes, sure. So I am the Head of Postgraduate Studies at BSBI, Berlin School for Business and Innovation. And I've been now in education for over 25 years, where I have been as an academic, also as a senior lead, as a senior manager. I set up the Business School for the Creative Industries in the UK, which is now 7th in the Guardian League tables for business schools, which is great. It's a great accolade. But now what I wanted to do was sort of be able to transfer my really great skills that I've learned across the way, all my networks that I have, and bring them to BSBI and teach some amazing students such as Omar, who will be here to tell us a lot more about his experiences today at BSBI.
Thank you, Katherine. That leads us to Omar. Hi, Omar. You are an MSc Digital Marketing student. Tell us a bit about yourself, Omar.
I'm Omar. I'm a newly postgraduate student here at the SBI. I'm studying the Masters of Digital Marketing. Previously, I've worked as a sales and marketing specialist for more than 4 years. First, I started in my home country, in Egypt. Then I wanted to explore like the Middle Eastern market, so I traveled to Saudi Arabia, where I worked at different pharmaceutical and medical devices companies. And now I'm in my next new step in the European market and like getting out of my box and continuing my education.
Sounds good. Thank you, Omar. To our viewers, in this webinar, we'll talk to you about the difference between hard skills and soft skills, or actually present to you and tell you what hard skills and soft skills are. We'll also talk to you how they're taught in educational settings. We'll tell you why it's important to network and what is networking. And in the final bit, we'll tell you what are the different networking initiatives we have at BSBI. At the end of this webinar, there's a Q&A session where you can ask our panelists, any questions that you have. Oh God, I'm totally out of place today, talking really quickly. So we also have some polls in this webinar, which is a great way to interact and also good for us to know feedback from you about the different topics that we are asking you questions on. So do participate and let's get started. Katherine, the first question goes on to you. We would like to know what are hard skills and soft skills and how are these taught in our education settings?
Okay, that's a really good place for us to start actually today for our session today, because when we talk about soft skills, these sort of refer to all those aspects of all the generic skills that include all those cognitive elements which are associated with all the non-academic skills that you're taught. So the hard skills, when we're looking at things, when we're teaching you about technical data, we might be teaching you about maths, we might be teaching you a language. So these are all your hard knowledge and training that you've gained from your education, or perhaps what Omar has brought with us is from his previous work experiences as well. So it's a bit sort of like the technical expertise, shall we say, in specific software programs. It might be in your understanding of grammar within English. All these sorts of things are your hard skills that you're taught by a fantastic academic team here. However, when it comes to soft skills, this is slightly different, because this is how we sort of look at the most critical skills sort of in what's now the current global job market that we are supporting you with at BSBI. So if you think about how fast moving technology is these days, we don't only just have to understand all the technological data, but we also have to understand the how we can enable looking at sort of frustrations and challenges and all those things that you're going to encounter in these roles within this global landscape, and how you can learn to sort of live and adjust accordingly within that sort of commercial sectors that you want to go into. So when we talk about these soft skills, you'll see a list of skills here that sort of describe the things that sort of perhaps managers, leaders, and they can be quite subjective in nature, but that's, this is something that we'd like to make sure that when you are working with us and studying with us, that you feel that you are working in an environment that you can be enabled to use these soft skills as well. You know, really importantly, we look at collaboration. You know, the importance of collaboration is to help students work in groups. And at the moment, this is very much virtual because we're looking at online. And, you know, not only that, when you're in the classroom as well, because in the physical existence, it's also really important because you could be looking at leadership values. It might be about empathy. It might be about communication. And its fluency is really critical to master because it's about working with someone, and especially with somewhere like BSBI, working with a whole raft of international students, you are working productively, hopefully, and easily with someone who is sitting online in another country or someone who's sitting in the room right opposite you. So those sort of things about collaboration are extremely important. As is communication. You know, this has evolved massively over the period of time from face-to-face, and now, as I was saying, it's about this digital age. So we're using technology more and more to communicate, and there are certain skills that you need in order to be able to master that communication more effectively. And it doesn't really matter which medium you're using, and actually more often than not we encourage you to use a diverse range of different mediums to be able to communicate, to make sure you're doing that effectively. It might be communication skills via email, it might be communication skills via presentation, it might be communication skills that you are sending out a pitch, you might be pitching for new business. All these sorts of things are incredibly important for you. As is critical thinking. You know, if you want a future success in changing world that's happening, you need to have that ability to be able to think critically. This is a really important soft skill, and it's about thinking productively and think about responsibly and also independently. Autonomous critical thinking is something that we really encourage, especially within both undergraduate and postgraduate programs at BSBI, because we need you to be able to think for yourself. You know, we are the enablers, and we want to plant the seeds for you to be able to be to grow and to develop and to think in your own autonomous critical way. Also, things like problem solving and that ability to be really flexible is incredibly important, because, you know, surviving and thriving in what we're talking about, this current you know, global climate of business that we're working in now, you know, real world problems are really important to be able to be guided with. And now a lot of the work that we present at BSBI is about enabling you to understand real world projects, real world briefs. You will be dealing with all sorts of you know, possibilities and scenarios that you'll be looking at to be able to support you moving forward to understand how to solve the problems that we may well be giving you. And it's also, you know, it's crucial that you're learning to define those problems, because actually it's all very well being given a problem and having to work out how to deal with it, but you have to craft an effective solution to make sure that there is an end result which is really productive. The one that I think is really essential and something that I really work to, having developed a business school for creative industries, is creativity. And it doesn't matter which sector or industry you come from. Creativity is so important because it's this skill that we can't afford to forget. You know, you need to embrace creativity in everything you do and whatever you do in all your projects. Now, that has proved to be really crucial in solving big problems as well as small problems, and why it's thousands of businesses these days bring in lots of people to support them with their creative thinking, you know, engineers, IT specialists, everyone, because creativity is a crucial language amongst all those students. So these sort of skills are really great soft skills that we really like to embrace with all our students, and also within the academic team at BSBI. Sorry, over to Omar.
Omar, what are some of the skills that you've come across in your course? Like, what is it that you have kind of, how do you say, what are some of the soft skills that you came across in your course which have been, you know, which have enabled you, which you have identified in this list? Is basically what I want to ask you.
Sure. Okay. As Katherine said, now we are like in a whole new situation, and it doesn't only depend on the theory that you know. Like the main thing that I like about my course is like I'm getting the theories, but I'm assessed on how to apply those on real-time situation and on real companies. This is actually what a postgraduate level should be like. I don't need to only know the information, but how to actually apply on it. And this is very exciting for me, because as for me, like I'm studying now digital marketing, and marketing is all about creativity and getting a new idea to the market that will grasp companies and customers to you. we can see a lot of examples before, like companies have stopped their thinking on the mainstream marketing ideas, and the company failed because another companies are thinking outside the box, and how can they like have a new idea. And this is one of the main points that I'm really excited about the course, is like it teaches you how to think, and this is one of the main important things anyone should know, like how to get a new idea, how to understand what are the people thinking now, because we are in a very fast-paced world now. People are every day thinking about other things, their way of thinking, like with the corona case, now we are in a virtual world. So how will companies get benefit of the current situation? And this is actually what we are learning now. So this was one of the main points I'm really excited to explore.
It's good to hear from you, all those points from you, Omar. I mean, it's only been 2 months since you've joined BSBI. You started in February this year. How are you finding it so far?
I'm really finding it exciting. Like I'm finally doing what I've been dreaming about. Like I have reached a level in my career that I think I need to explore more. I need to know more information. As I said, I was in a totally different two markets, like the African market and the Middle Eastern market. And I've always looked at the big companies, and one of the main big companies are always based in Europe. And I needed to know what are they doing different. How are the people thinking out there? That's why I wanted to explore the European market. So reaching here in Germany was one of the most exciting experiences I've had. I'm really liking my course, and also getting to know different people from different backgrounds. This all like enrich me and my experience on, yes, how they are thinking, how they are dealing with others. So it's been a really good 2 months, and I'm still looking forward to it.
Really glad to hear this, Omar. I think we'll run a quick poll with our viewers. Christine, if the poll is ready right now, would be good. So to our viewers out there, we'll be sharing a poll with you right now for you to participate in. And the question we're asking, or we want to know from you, is what soft skills are important to you? So we have collaboration and communication, creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, flexibility, or all of the above. So do let us know which soft skills are more important to you, or if all soft skills are important to you. The polls are coming in.
Great.
So 92% of all our participants have voted, and the winner is all of the above is what most of our viewers would like to have. Problem solving and critical thinking comes as second, and creativity comes as the third. So Katherine, you were right with creativity.
It's interesting, isn't it? I know.
They do value it.
Because so many people think, oh, we don't have to be, I can't draw, or I can't do those things. It doesn't matter. I can't do any of those things, and I've been in business now for 30 years. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have that. But to have creative thinking is so important. Think outside of the box. That's what we're teaching you.
That's a great point. Now, there are lots of benefits when it comes to networking. Katherine, what is networking, and why is it so important?
Yeah, so networking is something that I've always really relied on in my profession as well, and it's about this key to this sort of knowledge exchange, and to enable students and colleagues and anyone that you're working with to sort of share and make several connections with a variety of different people in all walks of professional sectors and industries, because it doesn't really matter what you do, but to connect with other people is really important. The best team I ever created in my career was a team where I literally located people who didn't have the skill sets that I had. Now, I created the dream team based on the fact that I didn't have knowledge of buying, I didn't have knowledge of the logistics in this area, so I got everyone together who were really excellent throughout my network, and through meeting people along the path, pulled them together, and I did actually create this dream team for years, incredibly successful. So I'm always inspired myself and educated by people who are in my network, and these people can also support you along the way to reach your goals. And that's why these networks are so important. If it's possible, go to as many events or presentations or live projects at university. Take up the opportunity. You might see competitions come up. take those opportunities, because once you start connecting and locating brands, locating people, you know, you are going to meet people and make connections which are totally vital to any part of your professional career, regardless of the sector that you're in. And it may be that you might swap business cards, you might just look in on the linked profile, you might connect with them that way, you might email them directly and just say, you know, I saw this wonderful presentation that you did recently, I'd love to know more about this. You know, if you're an entrepreneur starting out, then you'll need help from lots of different people, and the majority of entrepreneurs are really successful purely based on that fact. They get help along the way. So it might be that you network with someone to provide solutions. It might be word of mouth communications. It might be recommendations. You know, it could be referrals that support your business, and that growth in your business is about relying on your networks as well. So, you know, it might be simple that you want to support others. You know, for example, today Omar is doing a fantastic thing, you know, networking today, because actually what he's doing is supporting others to promote, you know, how well and how successful he's doing within the program. So it might be along the way that a student comes up to Omar and says, I saw you on that panel speaking about your experiences, and it was really supportive. So already you might start building those networks and those connections, which are really important. You know, not all things that come your way are opportunities that you should definitely take, and that's a really good a piece of advice as well. I wouldn't say, you know, take everything and do everything, because what you'll do is you'll spread yourself thin. But if there are opportunities that you might want to work on a joint venture, or you might want to write at an event or do a speaking or a conference, you know, think about your own social media as well. Think about your Twitter, your LinkedIn, you know, comment and engage with others that's appropriate to you, because this is how you're going to enable to generate that sort of inbound networking as well. Then it becomes less harder for you to go out and locate people. You'll get some inbound generation, so people will start connecting with you automatically anyway. So, you know, it's not about those millions and millions and millions of connections. It's also about finding the right people that you know will support you as well, which is really important.
Some really good advice. Thank you, Katherine. Omar, as an international student, how does studying abroad elevate your career prospects?
Okay, like in my previous career, like I only knew certain people with a certain thinking skills. But going abroad, like you are actually going out of your comfort zone. You are in a whole new place, in a whole new country. So it will teach you, like, one of the main skills is independence, how to be independent on yourself, how to get ideas on how to solve your problems, meeting also new people from different nationalities, knowing what are their culture. And this is actually very important nowadays, because someone, like, he shouldn't be only in his own zone. He should always know what are people thinking about, how are things done in another parts of the world. So this is all what I'm facing actually now. Also, I'm like getting to know people from other backgrounds. Like my background was sales in the pharmaceutical industry. I'm getting to know other people from the IT, from the finance. So I'm getting all of those information. And as Katherine said, this is the main benefit of networking. Like in my career, we can say a successful salesperson is only by the skills he knows. It's by the people he knows, because he knows who can do what. You can't always have all the skills. You have to know someone is perfect. For example, someone is perfect in presentation, someone is perfect in script writing. So by knowing all those people and putting them together, you will have a successful company. And this is actually what also studying abroad is. You know different people from different parts of the world that have like faced different problems than what you have may faced in your country. So this is always enriching me in my, like, in myself, in my soft skills, in my also hard skills, and making me like a better in the business world.
Thank you, Omar. Some really valid points there from Katherine and Omar with how to create the dream team by bringing people together who are experts in their areas. It's quite a good advice. To our viewers, we would like to conduct a poll to get to know, is networking important to you? It's a yes/no poll. So is networking important to you is what we would like to know. And we have 100% yes for that poll.
Good answer.
It's a good answer, yes.
Good on.
Now let's talk about some of the initiatives that BSBI offers with regards to networking. Katherine, could you tell us a bit more about the various networking possibilities that students have at BSBI?
Yeah, well, there's some wonderful opportunities for student at BSBI. Obviously, on campus at the moment is not as easy, but virtually as well. So we're running everything exactly the same virtually. So we've got some fantastic opportunities for students. Last year, BSBI became an official signatory to the United Nations, which is the Principles for Responsible Management and Education. Now, with that, it's a platform that raises this sort of awareness of sustainability in schools and all over the world, effectively. But by joining that, it was enabling BSBI to sort of embrace those really core 6 founding values, which are incredibly important, which is to do with sort of, method, research, partnership, dialogue, values, all these things about supporting initiatives for the management education, but also to develop responsible leaders for the future, which is something that we really want to encourage and aim. So with that also incorporates the whole thing about professional networks, engaging with professional academics. All the students that come along will be working with academics who've been in professional fields. We've all been working in industry, we've all got the experience within academic references. So this is a really good opportunity, not only when you're being taught, but to also then have a look at other events which are being presented by the academic teams. We have a wide array of partnerships that we have at BSBI, which you've got a fantastic slide on actually, which is all the partnerships that we actually have. And this is about offering this strong level of student support as well. And our careers office can really support you and put you in touch with those companies as well, because they support BSBI as we support them in the same way. We also have the wonderful Cafe Scientifique, which is held monthly, which is run by our provost and another high senior academic within our team, Anastasia, who's fantastic. And it's really every month we have different subject specialisms where students can come along and interact with the panelists in the same way that they're doing here, interact with the panelists and actually have conversation. The first one we had was in February, which was looking at extreme situations caused by the COVID-19 restrictions. It's always very, good subjects at the time, and it's about providing useful insights into the pandemic from a business perspective, and focusing on how companies were dealing with the new and the normal, which how we do that is a minefield. But we had some amazing guest speakers and panelists on that. The subsequent ones have been about model of airports and ports of hubs of the future, and we had 6 external guests coming on that, and our students said that 85% of students who attended that had said that they found the topic very interesting, which is absolutely correct. It's great. We've got one of our events, we had the CEO of the Qatar Stock Exchange market, because we were talking about rebooting the economy post-COVID, and our next one is coming up on creativity and leadership on the 7th of May. So anyone who's here, please join us for that, because it's a fantastic opportunity to see the host of speakers that are going to be talking about creativity and leadership. We also, for students who are on campus and they actually are engaged within our programs, we have an additional bonus programs which we add for students, and one of them which we encourage all students to attend is character development, strategy and development, which is an online program, and what you will be doing is meeting with a raft of panelists who will be talking from all sorts of sectors of retail, tourism. They'll be from data, finance, all these things, talking about what's happening to do with leadership, strategy and moving forward in contemporary practices within business. So this is just a tiny amount of things that we do. We do so much, and also engaging within our activities in classroom exercises is also another way that we really encourage the networking opportunities and the events that we hold. So literally watch the BSBI website. There's always a raft of things going on, and we really encourage students to get involved as much as possible.
It's a great lineup of events, Katherine, that you mentioned there.
Things,
it's very exciting. Yes. Omar, within this 2-month period that you've been there, I mean, it's not been that much. Have you had the opportunity to attend any of the networking events? And if you have, what has been your experience?
I have attended like a webinar based on leadership, and I actually find this initiative is very good. Like, as a student, I always want to hear like successful people, the real people from those countries or those companies. I need to hear what was their background, how was their story. So actually attending those seminars or presentations will be very important. Like, you are still in the process of learning, and actually having, like, maybe your role model was the CEO of Red Bull, and like he's doing a presentation, so you would love to go and listen to him. How did he gain those skills? What was his journey? Maybe you are facing some of the problems that he was facing before. He will give you the solution. So as our topic today, really networking is very important, and attending to the big figures and the big presenters will be very beneficial for people. And I'm still, as I've been only 2 months, but I'm still looking forward, like, to attend all those exciting events Katherine spoke about.
Thank you, Omar.
You know, sorry, it's just lovely to, I just want to add to that what Omar said. That example was lovely, Omar, what you were saying about, you know, how you learned and how you developed from those people, because you're absolutely right. That is such a priority, to listen, because, you know, you will find from people who have worked in business or who are great leaders, all these people will tell you that is always a challenge. There's always a challenge, but they're inspiring you about how they overcame things and have been the success that they are. And these are great people to follow and network with, which you can do because we've enabled you to do that, which is really lovely. Thank you, Omar. That was really nice.
Thank you, both of you. We'd like to take a quick poll with our viewers, and we would like to know what criteria is imperative to you when you move abroad to do a degree. So some of the points that we listed there are affordability, scholarship programs, career options, or networking opportunity. And the polls are coming through. We have career options as the #1 criteria for our prospective students. #2 is scholarship programs. #3 is affordability, and #4 is networking opportunity. I mean, they're all kind of roughly around the same, how do you say, percentage, but career options is #1. And I guess with career options, you also talk about networking opportunities.
Yeah. It does. It coincides well together, and it's really great to hear that people that are really interested in BSBI are really interested in those things, because that's something which is so important to all of us within the school, as academics, and for our students to be able to engage with what's going to be happening once they leave, and become part of our alumni, because that's another thing about bringing people back to talk to our students who have graduated and done particularly well and have been incredibly successful, because that's a real you know, credibility of the school as well, and to show that students want to come back and tell us what they're up to now, which is lovely.
Thank you, Katherine. Our next point is, we want to know, Katherine, why is BSBI a great place for prospective students? Why would you recommend?
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I can recommend it highly. I mean, it's great because obviously you will be surrounded as a student by other students from a multitude of different nationalities, and that's because they, and also not only that, you're taught by this wonderful array of academics from a vast field of different nationalities as well. So not only does this support knowledge transfer, but this also supports sort of cultural knowledge, which is going to support you in that international landscape. So if you're moving into global or international business, that can really support that. There was some research which was conducted, it was in the UK, but it was conducted for the Business Innovation and Skills Department. And what they were saying was, they reported that studying with international cohorts increased sensitivity towards other cultural perspectives and an improved ability to understand and communicate with people from a wide range of national and social backgrounds. So, and they're looking at that as the characteristics of global citizenship as well, because it's going to help them to work and operate anywhere in the world. And those benefits are looking at the integration in this globally diverse student body, which is what we actually have at BSBI, which is wonderful. And it was really lovely to read that, because it really enhances what we're doing at BSBI. So importantly, these benefits of international students is the way that we also can diversify our campus as well. It's lovely to have that within the campus community and the culture. Unfortunately, Omar probably hasn't seen that as much yet because we're still online at the moment, but that's going to ease, and that's going to be much easier, and it's going to happen. But we do it really well online as well. You know, I've been so impressed, you know, because I teach a lot of the programs, and I've been so impressed by the absolute support for everyone within our programs from all backgrounds. And it's great because working with those other students, you can understand about their values and their beliefs, and it can also widen this cultural awareness and gain new perspectives and improve your social skills. And it's about not only enhancing also language proficiency as well, because the wider experience that the students have is also supporting network opportunities as well, and it's also offered the possibility for future business transactions or collaborations with each other. And I think that's the thing that we're looking at on a global scale, and I would say that BSBI do that really well.
Thank you, Katherine. Omar, what was your motivation to choose BSBI?
My motivation was like I was wanting to get the best business knowledge after my career. Like I was doing well in the sales and marketing department, but I wanted to shine out actually from others. As I said, as now we are in a very competitive market, like you have to have a new knowledge or a new skill that will support you and get you to another levels in the company. So I have researched a lot of business schools here in Germany, and I actually wanted to go to Germany because it's like a double benefit for me. I will gain a new language. For me, this is very important actually now. You will be able to speak to different people, and also I wanted to be based in Berlin, because Berlin is very international. And when I've looked at those 2 points, and then I searched like category business, then Germany, I found BSBI. I'm studying a master program in collaboration with University for Creative Arts, which is top ranked in UK as a business school. Some of my professors are like working in a very big companies like IBM, Google. So this is actually what anyone looking to pursue a career in his field, like for me in marketing, I actually checked all the right points for me, like a very innovative program, one of the most leading countries in the world, which is Germany, and also based in Berlin, where you will find most of the headquarters of the companies are situated there. So you will be near everyone, and this is actually coming back to us with the networking. Like when you are based in the center, you get to know all the people and you get to meet all the people, and it's easier to go to the companies, apply for internships, which is actually also supported by BSBI. Like as a new student, I wanted to find like an internship, so the school actually send us, like if you are in the marketing program, those are the internships that you can apply for, always giving us support in your course, in what is the next step in Germany. Like I was still a new student here. I didn't know what papers I should do, what is my next step to get the residence. This also attracted me. Like any foreigner student who is coming, he needs like a holding hand, like to give him like the first steps in the new country. Even before I arrived to Germany, they told me like you will need those papers when you arrive, how to get to the university, what to contact who in order to like issue your place of residence, your residence, what are the next legal support. So with this support, like it gets you out of the uncomfortability of what should I do next, and it makes you also focus on your program. Like I shouldn't care about now, am I moving right with my legal documents or something, because there is always a supporting hand. So this is always important for any foreigner student who's coming to a new country. So for me, it was like on target, BSBI.
It's good to also hear about some of the student support services that helped you when you moved to Germany. I'm sure this is of great interest for students, for international students especially. That takes us to the next poll, and we would like to know from students what services are important to you. And here is our poll. We would like to know if it is free German language courses, online resources and student support, a dedicated career service, or central location, or all of the above. Do let us know. So the winner of the answers is all of the above. So all services are very important to our viewers. The ones that are above central location and online resources is mainly dedicated career service and free German language courses. Omar, have you been attending free German language course? So if you have, do let us know how you have been finding it.
I received the enrollment in the free language course, and this is very important because now I have chosen Germany for my next, for example, 2 to 3 years to live. So it will be very important to know the language and to know where to go. Like if I'm a new student, I don't know even the school that will teach me the language. So giving this during or including in the course is very supportive, because you will also be surrounded by your teammates in the same course. You are all in the same level, so it will be like getting used to the language with your partners in the program. And this is actually like if I'm looking to apply for a university, this is actually very financially good, because actually applying for a language course outside is very costly. So supporting the student with a free language course is very good benefit. And I think if I'm thinking it financially or in the course itself, it will tick also all the boxes. So yes, I'm now enrolled in the language course.
No, thank you, Omar. You'll soon be speaking in German with us.
Oh, he will. Do you know, I just to add to that, actually, I mean, it is wonderful actually to have a business school that does have that flexibility to enable students to have that extra language, which is wonderful. And I have to say it's really brilliant, and that's something that I was always really impressed with BSBI, but even before I joined. And actually, you know, since joining, I've been, you know, so impressed with the student support services, because, you know, I'm always engaged with the student support services. It's really important that I have full connection. Being head of postgrad, it's really important that I know what's going on, if there's any issues and things like that. They are so supportive and so brilliant. I can honestly say that this is great to see, not only from my point of view, from an academic point of view, but also more importantly for our students, because that's what we're here for. As Omar said, you know, he's come from a really, you know, a long distance to get to Berlin. And like I said, completely new to the country, completely new to Europe, didn't know what to expect, but felt really supported along the way. And that's something to be really mindful of, because also that's another part of your networking process. Who are you going to be speaking to at BSBI to help you with, you know, locating the right things? Who is going to be there to support you? And I would say that that is fundamentally a really important part of the whole learning journey, because if you're not settled in all those areas, you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be learning. But as I've seen with all my students, that is the case. They feel well supported, they're happy, they're engaged, they're learning. And I've been, you know, so impressed. You know, I've been with BSBI now since September, and it's been an absolute joy to work with some really, you know, interesting students from all over the world. You know, it's been fascinating. So I feel very privileged to be part of a really strong team and an incredible school.
It's amazing to hear. Thank you, Katherine. We'll move on to a Q&A session. So we'll switch gears. There are some questions that have come through. And the first question is, are there student organizations at BSBI where I can join during my first months, even though I don't know anyone when I enroll? So I believe the question is student organizations in BSBI. I believe the question is if there's a student council or if there are any student groups, like maybe.
Yeah, well, I can answer that. I mean, there is, from an academic perspective, there is students who can be elected to be part of student council, which is really great. And it's so important to be part of your student body in that respect, because what you're doing is you're being the voice of your cohort. So those are really great ways to start connecting with people already. If you want to prepare to be, you know, the class representative, the course representative, this is a fantastic opportunity to really get to meet people, because what you're doing is, you know, we all can learn from things if we need to adapt things, but it's also great to hear about the positives that are happening as well. And we love to hear those things. And that's what the student representatives do. And they're really important, integral part of every course and program. So that's one really good way to do that. I mean, I don't know, Omar, are you part of any of the committees that they have?
Yeah, recently, like 2 days ago, we were having the student council election. Like in our course, like we chose someone to represent us if we have like any add-ons on the course or any problems we are facing. So yes, actually this is available, and it's also like strong in the bonds between the students themselves. Like you will feel like you are in a one-part group. So yeah, this is a very good feature that we have here.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Katherine. Do send us more questions. We're waiting for you and here to answer your questions. Our next question is, are there internship opportunities available at BSBI?
Okay, so I'll answer that. We do have opportunities within the outside the remit of the programs also to do internships. Now, I've had a lot of students when it comes to postgraduate, particularly postgraduate, who are looking at working on an internship while studying at the same time, which is a possibility. There is a possibility to do that, especially when you come up to your dissertation period, because I found a lot of students who are particularly interested in doing their dissertation on specific companies and case studies on companies. They wanted to have an internship with that organisation. So that opportunity is there for students, absolutely. And because of our career service is supporting all those students to get those internships, there is a really good network that we have already, which is already based within Germany, and also on a global scale, we say, because as I say now, I'm sitting here in London, you guys are in Berlin, all sorts of other places. We can do business virtually as well, so there are opportunities there for having a look at that. So I would say that the encouragement for internships are really integral part of your learning journey, particularly at BSBI, so it is important, and we do offer those within the careers department, can support students to locate those as well.
Thank you, Catherine. Our next question is, can I find networking opportunities outside of Germany if I enroll at BSBI? And they have written in brackets, like an opportunity to apply for a job internationally.
Absolutely. What you will find, and I really do encourage this, is why it's really important to attend all the events, because what you will find, even when you're on campus, you would have an event where you'll have panelists who are not in Germany, they're not in the UK. As I said, now we've got video conferencing, we've got Zoom, we've got, I can think of many different conferencing facilities that we have, and you will find that some of those guest speakers aren't necessarily from Germany direct. They will be from all over the world. They might be sitting in the Middle East, might be sitting in London, they might be sitting in America. So you will still have those networking opportunities to have a look at it on a global scale. We're not just talking about local, we are talking on a global scale. So you will meet people from, all the networking opportunities will be from all over the world, not just from your base location in Berlin.
The next question is, what happens if one has paid an initial amount? So I think this is a visa-related question. And I think this is something that we would have to direct you towards one of our program consultants, because basically what the student is asking is, do you provide somebody to process visa papers, basically? So is there somebody to help with visa papers, is what the student is asking?
There is. We do, yeah, there is, yes, absolutely. And I'm sure, Omar, did you get support with yours?
Yes, exactly. There is an organization that is in collaboration with the university that will help each student how to what papers do they need to apply for the visa. Even the extension of your permit is also available. So this is what I was talking about. Any foreigner student shouldn't worry about the legal process or the visa process, because there is always a supporting department that will support you in each and every step in this.
So it's usually to the student who asks the question, it's usually the program consultant who will be contacting you. That person will put you in touch with the right contacts and provide you all the help you need.
Yeah.
And our next question,
are wonderful. They are a brilliant team, and they really do support you, because we know, how complex this process can be, and we want to support you, and we want to enable you to make this a seamless process for when you join us. It's not a complicated process, so we're really happy to support that.
Our next question is the are the professional certificates a part of the master's program?
Well, yeah, actually, the certificate programs that we're actually doing are not just part of the postgraduate program. They are also available for all students in the undergrads as well. So undergrads can attend those. Also, our DBA students, they can also attend those as well. So they are available for all students within BSBI. What I will say is, if you are external to BSBI and you are particularly interested, if you go onto our web pages, you can actually access that, and it tells you who to contact if you are particularly interested in those courses that are also being run, which are the certificate programs. And these certificate programs are really just an additional support to the students, which we are running to enhance their programs as well, because it might be a unit particularly interesting because you're not studying that within your sector at the moment. So they're really good programs to enable students to have that additional extra that we want to provide for our students.
And our final question, because we're slowly coming towards our end time, are there any scholarship opportunities for international students at BSBI?
We do have scholarship opportunities, and again, that is another question for our program collaboration team, our program team, to actually. So that the best way to do that is to actually enable them to ask all those questions, that they can direct it straight to our program team, because they're really important questions to make sure that we get that correct, get that right, because it's a really important process if you want to make sure that you are applying for a scholarship. So please make sure that you speak to the program coordinators about that.
And with that, we have come to an end to this webinar. Katherine, Omar, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insights with us. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us today. We hope we have been able to help you to get to know a bit about networking and why that's important and what BSBI does in terms of networking. Do follow us and subscribe to our channels to get to know more about BSBI and stay abreast. And we hope to welcome you on campus. Thank you and goodbye.
Look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.